How about questions, guys?
Coach, your defense got after them early and gave y'all the offense a short field. Just how important was that for you guys, especially from the game?
Well, I think especially early that was important. When Diggs and Long were healthy early in the game, we really had our hands full, and I thought our defense just had 11 guys chasing the football full speed all the time. It was fun to watch. I was disappointed in the second half when we relaxed a little bit and went 75 in a couple of plays. That got my attention, but I thought overall for 4 quarters, going against a talented quarterback, some talented receivers, I thought our guys really came to play.
What's the difference in the last 2 games, Jim, offensively? Is it the scheme that you changed? Is it the kids growing up?
You mean as far as our offensive scheme right now?
Yeah.
I think it was, more than anything else, trying to find Tanner Price's comfort zone for us. I think, right or wrong, he's more comfortable sitting in the pocket throwing the football, and he runs well enough to be an option quarterback, but we really had issues on the perimeter pitching the ball. We had some issues with getting out of the mesh, actually pulling the ball when it's time to keep it, run down the line of scrimmage. And so we're still running the option. We're still making a lot of decisions whether to hand it or keep it. But the perimeters become bubble throws for us instead of getting down the line of scrimmage and pitching the ball. And I think, I really think what Coach Elrod and Coach Lobo and those guys have done is really started kind of getting an offense that Tanner's more comfortable with. And we ought to play better. I'm telling you, we play very good, especially in the second half. But I think, it's hard to keep the same energy with the lead. But I think they got our attention there when they cut it to 14, and I was really proud of them when we went right down the field and got another score.
Does that show the growth in your team with that situation right there when they cut it down to a 2-possession game, which you guys answered right back?
Yeah, I think so, JB. I thought that was the key for us. I thought, the game was just kind of taking care of itself, and it seemed, I was kind of in a little bit of a comfort zone myself. My guys typically don't let me stay in that comfort zone, but, when we were up 21 and we'd kind of gone back and forth possessions 2 or 3 times, it seemed okay. And then the disappointing thing is when we were up 21, we had the ball around the 50-yard line. We get to 10-yard holding call, then we lose 10 or 15 on the sack. We gave up like 25 yards. I thought Josh Harris had a nice run to get us back to like 3rd and 15. Punt the ball to the 25, and 2 plays later they're in the end zone and cut it to 14. And that was really concerning to me because they had such big play potential. So I thought it was really the right time for Tanner and those guys to have a good possession, go down and score again, and that kind of got us back on track. And from an emotional standpoint, it got us back in the game.
You talked about Tanner's comfort zone. I'm trying to remember the last time he looked that good. He looked as good to you, Jim?
Well, I thought he was really comfortable. I thought, honestly, there were a couple times we made a couple mistakes. From his position, we got a protection screwed up one time, and then I think we had a really good bubble play to Camp threw it to the ground. And I think sometimes when you see how open those things are, it's hard to pull the trigger because it could be great play. But I agree. I thought, overall, I thought he played really, really good. And I thought he played really good against North Carolina State. I think he's put 2 games back-to-back, pretty special. And, of course, we got 5 more games of teams that are really talented. So it's going to take a great effort out of 10 every week for us to be good on offense.
On defense, the key was set the tone right off the bat and forced them to double and triple team the rest of the game.
Yeah, I think you're right, Michael. I think right out of the blocks, Nikita was just a beast. I mean, he was really doing some great things early, and I think they had to occupy him a little bit more. And I thought all those guys, Zach Thompson, Chris Redding, all those guys up front, I thought Justin Jackson, even though they weren't getting there was lots of pressure. We were getting a lot of pressure on the pocket. And I mean, they're both quarterbacks I thought are very talented, can really throw the football. And I think some of the times the pressure, even though we didn't get there, forced some bad throws.
How much of a boost did you give your team for Headland to move that 51-yarder?
Well, I think it was great. I really think it was great. You know, Chad's only problem, and it's Alex Kennel's problem too, is just consistency. You know, we're just not very consistent. Chad kicks off good most of the time. Every once in a while he hits a bad ball, and then from a field goal perspective, he's really got a good leg and gets good height on kicks and whatnot. And honestly, Billy Mitchell came up to me and he said, "Coach, you'll make this." So we went ahead and called timeout and said, "Okay, Mitch, you're fired if he doesn't." So put a little pressure on Mitch, but he stayed with the call. That was the good thing. And it was nice to see Chad make that. I know that's really, really good for his confidence and something that we really need. You know, anytime you get down and can come away with 3, especially in longer yardage situations, you know, we really thought about going for it until Mitch told us he'd make it. And so, you know, I was really, really pleased with Chad. That should help him going forward.
So how does it feel to tie Douglas Clark, P-Head Walker to the school record?
I don't have any idea, to be honest with you, Rob. You know, we got the Canes next week. We're gonna go down to Miami and play football. So I don't want to make you know, light of it, because I think you know, obviously I'm very proud of what we've accomplished here at Wake Forest. But to be real honest with you, Dan asked that question, you know, at the press luncheon on Tuesday. That's not really ever crossed my mind, and really I never cared about camp, you know, breaking the reception record. To be honest with you, the main reason we got him the record at the end of the game is I didn't want to carry it to Miami. You know, I didn't want that carrying over to where you know, that's all everybody's talking about, and I didn't want him worried about it in practice, and you know, all the kind of things that can go with that. Records are, I think, good to talk about when you look back on them, but they're not good to talk about going forward. So for me personally, I'm very proud of what we've done. Obviously, I haven't won any games without a great coaching staff and a great group of kids that have won a ton of games, primarily the kids. But for me, personally, I'm so excited about the past couple of wins, beat State, beat Maryland, huge for our football team, and exciting going forward. We still got a long road, but I'm much more happy for our players and you know, for them finding a way to get back together and win. And I think I told Dan the other day too, Michael and all the guys who were at the press conference, that you know, you give me 5 more wins and I'll give you my record back. You know, I don't care about that at all. I just want our players to have a chance to win each week.